Sonic 3D Blast is a strange game. It's the only real Sonic game released on the SEGA Saturn during its short run. There was Sonic Jam, which was essentially a compilation, sort of like Super Mario All-Stars, but with Sonic. And then there was Sonic R. And while Sonic 3D Blast is indeed a full-fledged Sonic game, it most certainly isn't what longtime fans were expecting when it was released on the Saturn back during the 1996 holiday shopping season. You see, this is actually an enhanced port of the same game that was released on the Genesis that same year. The Isometric View is what originally bothered me about this game on the Genesis, and I gotta be honest, it's the same thing today. I've never been a die-hard fan of 3D Blast for several reasons we'll get into in just a bit, even though countless friends of mine absolutely loved it, and I'm pretty sure that many of you watching this are going to give me a thumbs down because you're going to have lots of fond memories of this game as well. But unfortunately, I'm just not one of those people. You see, I wanted a Sonic game something more akin to Sonic Adventure than what 3D Blast offered. I thought for certain that SEGA wouldn't just port over a Genesis game for the big holiday shopping season, but they actually shocked me by doing just that. Why would I get excited about a game I had already played and disliked? So let's jump on into the game itself. Let's start off by talking about what makes Sonic 3D Blast so different, because at first glance, it may appear this is indeed just another Sonic game. After all, you do everything you'd expect to do in a Sonic game, such as collect rings, rescue cute furry creatures, fight Robotnik or Eggman, and try and collect all the Chaos Emeralds. The difference here is that you can run in just about any direction. As such, you'll have to put on the brakes more often than not because you'll need to twist and turn all over these extremely large stages. Typically, stages are broken up into different areas, and there's even a map to help you stay on course. The overall objective is quite different as well. The focus isn't on speeding towards the stage's exit this time around, but rather to find 5 enemies, destroy them, and collect the cute little furry creatures inside. From there, you need to bring the 5 animals to the giant golden ring located somewhere in that area of the stage in order to move on to the next area, and eventually the stage's exit. Knuckles and Tails are also featured in the game, and they're hidden usually somewhere in the stage, and if you bring them 50 rings, they will fly you to the Chaos Emerald minigame, where you need to collect a certain number of rings in a half-pipe, which is extremely reminiscent of Sonic 2's Emerald stages. Graphically, there's actually not too much going on here. Yes, the game is colorful, but for the most part, it's not really a 3D game. It typically uses 3D rendered sprites. However, there is a 3D modeled polygonal Sonic in the half-pipe stages, which is good. Many people aren't aware of this, but this port actually only took a few months to get up and running and was developed as a backup just in case Sonic Extreme couldn't make it out in time for the holiday season. Now that was a very smart bet on Sega's part, as that's exactly what ended up happening, and eventually Sonic Extreme would be cancelled outright. There's no question that this is the superior version of Sonic 3D Blast, as it runs smoother and it certainly looks nicer than the Genesis counterpart, but this wasn't the game hardcore Sonic fans were hoping for, nor expected, to be honest. My biggest problem with the game is the fact that the action is extremely slow. Locating all enemies gets old very fast as the gameplay never changes, so it becomes repetitive quickly. You can tell this is a side game in the Sonic series, and if you take it as such, it's okay, it's fine. It's just that it's a real shame the Saturn never got that real full-fledged Sonic game it deserved. Today, Sonic 3D Blast is rather affordable, typically selling for around $25 or so for a complete copy. Sonic 3D Blast truly is a different kind of Sonic game, and that's fine. It features very nice visuals, great music, and decent gameplay, although like I mentioned, it gets old fast. If what you're seeing here looks appealing, by all means go ahead and check it out. At least the entry price won't break the bank.